Hey guys, it's Jemma, aka Aussie Bookworm. Today I'm going to switch gears and instead of talking about what I'm reading, I'm going to talk about what I've been writing. So I've always had a very grand imagination, and ever since I was a little kid, I've had really vivid dreams, which was awesome because I have got to live out these amazing adventures while I sleep. But I've also always had really terrible nightmares. Thankfully, like they've kind of subdued in the last few years. But yeah, anyway, so the reason I'm telling you about this is because in 2013, it was the year after I left school, I had a dream, and from this dream, it was just like a story, kind of not a complete story, but a part of a complete story. And when I woke up, I had this full story in my mind of, I'm not going to go into what the story is too much is about, but essentially the dream was about me, and I was with a friend, and I'd been kidnapped and taken to this underground military organization, and there was a guy there, and he was supposed to be protecting me. And anyway, I woke up and I had like this, oh my god, this is a story, a complete story. And when I wake up from dreams, I will often complete the story in my imagination anyway. But I was just really compelled to write this, and so I started with no experience writing other than what I'd done in school. I'd always done really well in English. But anyway, I started writing, and I probably spent like 6 months writing, and then it kind of just petered off. And every now and then I'd like go back to it and I'd read through what I'd written, and maybe add a little bit more. And then in 2017, I started writing again in earnest. I did NaNoWriMo, and or maybe it was 2018 I did NaNoWriMo. Either way, it was 2017 and 18 that I got really serious, and I'm sure, actually, I think it was 2018. I finished the first draft of my book. And then over the last few years, I've gone back and I've been rewriting, because writing is rewriting, and making the book better. I'm currently on my 5th and what will be final draft before I start sending it out to publishers. I've worked with a few beta readers and got really great feedback. So what I've been focusing on in this draft is I pretty much rewrote the whole beginning. I changed quite a lot because the feedback I got, and even from my own reading it through, I could tell that the beginning was the weakest part. And I mean, I'd written it in 2013 compared to having written it in the last few years. So, you know, the start of the story kind of needs to be where it's strongest so it can really draw readers in, and it wasn't. I've also been looking at the relationships, because when I read, the relationships are what kind of keeps you hooked, and it's really tricky as a writer to know whether you've shown on the pages the relationship depths that you see in your mind. Because in my mind, I know exactly how the relationships work, and you know, there's things that I'm dropping in book 1 because the book I'm writing is a trilogy, and I have started writing the second one, but I'm going to get the first one published first before I move on completely. And yeah, so that's really tricky, because for me, I'm like, oh, have I conveyed it as well? And there's all these doubts about whether what you're feeling is reflected in the page. And yeah, so that's kind of what I've been focusing on, and the from the feedback from my beta readers. I'm going to send it out to a few more beta readers at the end of this draft, but I'm also looking into publishing and potentially like working with an editor, and what are they called? Not a manager, but that word. So yeah, I am definitely hoping to talk more about writing a book or writing a series, and hopefully over the next few months I will get it published, because that was my goal for this year, was to get it published. And actually, because I've been working on it for so long, I mentioned it to some of my students when they were in year 2, and now they're halfway through year 4. And every week they're like, Miss, have you finished the book? I'm a teacher. Miss, have you finished the book? Have you sent it to the publishers? Like, I keep them updated, and they're my greatest driving force. And in the holidays, I said, like, I'm going to really work on the whole publishing aspect. And I was a bit slack because I finally got to see my brother, who lives on the other side of the country, and because of COVID hasn't been able to get home, and got to have some really nice downtime. But like, in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, I can't go back to work and not have at least looked into this and done a bit of work around this. So yeah, they are my greatest driving force to keep going. But yeah, if you would like to hear more, please drop a comment, say hi, and yeah, that's all. Take care. Peace and love.